Chris Brown, who has continued to be the spotlight for the court cases he's found himself in, like this latest incident in London, where he had an A case against him by a music producer who said that Chris Brown aided him with a bottle and put feet on him while the man was still on the ground. And of course, the case before that, you all know about that. Well, now he's in the spotlight for having said something very unthinkable to some and not so to others. And that's concerning the fact that Chris Brown actually prays before every performance. That's right. He just recently told someone that. And why that is unthinkable to some is because people don't often hear him talk like this. And they don't often hear him talk about God or how he has been blessed despite all the things that he's been delivered from. So naturally, when they hear that he prays, some fans, okay, are like, really, Chris Brown? Where did this come from? Some fans, because I have heard him talk about God before. And so, in my opinion, I believe Chris Brown does have some form of relationship or knowledge about God, because he has definitely confessed to being blessed. I've heard him say he's blessed. Yeah, I've heard him say that many times. But when people heard this latest thing that he said about he actually prays before every performance. And I find that definitely understandable, because his performances are amazing. Okay? And, of course we contribute that, as he said himself once, to his skill and his talent and his gift and his whole skill set and his practice and his work hard ethic. Of course, that too. And, when someone performs the way he does, it takes more than the skill set, the talent, the gift. It takes being able to know where this gift comes from. And he does, because he says he prays before every performance. And that's just it, because when he confessed to being blessed many times, I always said, Chris Brown, that's right. And you know what? No one else but God could have gotten him out of the messes he's been in. And of course, he will tell you that himself. So, a lot of people don't catch all of his interviews, and they don't catch all the things that he's caught out saying at some point in time. But when you do, he's always talked about how he knows he's blessed. And he always talks about the gift. Okay? When you hear people talking about the gift they have, well, a gift is something that's what? Given. And who gave it? God gave it. Just like he gave gifts to everyone. It says he gave gifts to men, meaning everyone. He gave gifts to men and led captivity captive. We all have a gift. And I think it's the smart ones who really realize that, because, as I stated before, Chris Brown and his talent, that is quite awe-inspiring. When you look at how this man dances and the way he has continued on in his profession, despite people earlier on trying to, keep him from performing, Chris Brown continued to perform. Yes, he did. And that is the mark of a very gifted person who, knows where that gift comes from. It is, you know. They said that Michael Jackson passed the torch to him. That's what they said, you know. And you could see that because when Michael was here, Michael asked Chris to perform for him somewhere. And people were like right then and there, oh wow, that's passing the torch right there. Okay? And you all remember that great performance he gave after Michael's passing, and the way he represented Michael's talents and gifts. I mean, when you turn off the lights and you see this man dancing, it's like, whoa, that looks like Michael Jackson's moves all over the stage. And then you know that Chris Brown appreciated Michael. He appreciated his gift. He always spoke about Michael having a gift as well. Okay? So when this latest interview surfaced about, oh yeah, I pray before every performance, it was so funny the way Chris answered someone who said something about him being, you know, under the influence, and how it's amazing that he does really have a gift because he can still perform being under the influence. Chris Brown said, nah, that's skill, that's hard work, that's stick-with-itness, that's talent. You know, I thought that was so funny because, I mean, that was a great compliment, because if this person thought that, oh, well, I know he a great performer because he's performing and he's out there, you know, under the influence, said something to that effect. And Chris Brown, hey, he got back with that person so graciously. He laughed about it. And see, that's when you know a talent. That's when you know someone does not have to be ashamed of anything that he has been gifted, because he answered this person so graciously with a laugh and just said, that's hard work, that's talent, that's skill. And rightly so. However, even with all that, for that those performances to be top notch as they are, takes a little bit more than practice. It takes a special gift from God. Just saying.